Today we're going over the Upa Escape.
So the Upa Escape is a way to get out of mount, and is one of the #1 main ways to get out, actually, just because there's not a lot of escapes out of mount. So this is one that you're going to learn as a white belt, and you're going to be using it all the way to black belt, okay? So just make sure that you give this a lot of practice, and actually you're probably going to have to practice this a lot because you're going to get mounted a lot along the way to black belt, right? So what I need to do is I need to get him off. I need to roll him over, okay? So if I were to just grab him and try to roll him off of me, look at how he posts off of his hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to hold on to it and not allow him to post. But before I do that, I need to get really clever with how I do it. If I just reach up and grab him, he's going to armbar me, he's going to get me, okay? So what I need to do is I need to keep his hands onto the mat, okay? If his hands are open and free, he's going to be using them to choke me. Yeah, so crazy stuff. So what I need to do is I need to bridge. And I can take both of my feet, plant them close to my butt. I raise my hips up as high as I can and bridge them over. But here's another little tip. If my partner is kind of being a jerk, and when I raise my hips, he raises his head, and look at that. He dampens my ability to get him up and over. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bridge off of one leg, okay? So I still bridge, I still get my hips up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this knee. I'm going to plant it into the center of his back, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my knee up, and I kind of pretend like I'm trying to knee myself in the face as I bridge as high as I can. And what that's going to do is it's going to ensure my partner is going to go forward, go up above my head, here, okay? So now that his hands are down, I will reach up, keeping my elbows nice and tight, and I want to wrap up his arm. I like to kind of grab over the elbow, just over the bicep, and just below the elbow. And I keep this really, really close. I just pretend that I want to keep my elbows very, very close to my chest. And that's how I can be nice and strong here. So now that I have this arm controlled, he's very weak over on this side. But if I still just try to roll him over, he plants his foot out. So I have to block that too. I have this arm, I need to block the same side leg. So what I'm going to do is I take that leg and I plant my ankle just over his ankle, as close to my butt as possible. And I know that I'm pretty flexible and bendy. If you have trouble with that, you can just go out and bring it in. It'll be a lot easier, okay? So now he has one last trick up his sleeve. If I go to roll him over, he's going to cross post, okay? So I need to make him burn that. I need to make him waste it. So I'm going to give one last really, really strong bridge, and it's got to be mean and kind of violent. I want him to feel like his head is going to hit the mat. So he has to protect his face by putting his hand down. I do a giant bridge and a giant roll. And now we're here, okay? So I need to keep his hands down. I take my knee, plant it into the center of his back. I bridge and knee myself in the face, getting him up. I wrap up his arm and glue it to my chest. I have this arm, I trap the same side foot. Now I give one last big bridge, big roll. And now we're here. One last thing you guys can do to tighten this up, when you get all of the steps down, and you find yourself doing one big bridge, one big roll, okay? Those are two distinct motions that you gotta do. You can't give half a bridge and half a roll, it's not gonna be enough. But after a while, when you're able to distinguish those two movements, when you get your partner's hands down, you'll be able to wrap, trap, bridge, and roll at the same time for a nice, fluid motion.
And that's the Upa Escape.